real name. I get all the time people like, oh, you just want to call that? No, it's my birth name.
Right.
I go by neighborhood hope dealer. A funny story about how I got that name. Was going through Instagram names and I was struggling with what was gonna be my handle. I need something catchy or whatever, right? And I was sent home on hospice, October 2021. This was December 2021, and I said before I leave here, I want to make my mark. And the pastor's wife was preaching that Sunday, and she was like, "Do you ever find yourself dealing hope to the hopeless?" I was like, "Hell yeah, right." Do you ever find? I said yes. And then I looked, I said, that's my new name, Neighborhood Hope Dealer. And from that moment, I left church. That's been my Instagram handle. I feel like I'm always giving hope to the hopeless and doing, hopeful things in my hood, even through, through my hands or through my words or through my heart. And so there it is, the birth of the Neighborhood Hope Dealer. And I think with that handle came Pussy Talk.
Right.
So Pussy Talk came about. I used to own a spa in Wicker Park, and I also owned a recovery house post-surgical. That experience was, the women not gonna like this.
Right.
It allowed me to see women in the most broken way possible. There were days that I cried because I had saw women so broken and so hurt and so damaged. And I would see these women give any and everything to get a body, to think that it was going to ultimately change their life, their relationship, their situation, either financially or mentally. And what hurt is that after they would get the surgery, they think instantly their life was going to change without ever working on the inside.
Right.
And it didn't. And they would be in there crying because some of them would look worse than they did before they went the surgery. And then they come out and they look at themselves and they be like, damn, I didn't spend my last dollar. I've seen women in there, kids was at home, didn't even have food, but they was getting surgery.
Right.
And they didn't spend their last money to get a surgery, and then they still look worse. They was upset, crying, and they didn't even care about the fact that their home things weren't taken care of. It was, damn, my body.
Right.
It's not fucked up, right?
Right.
And it hurt me, because I love women so much, and I knew we were fucked up, but I didn't know how bad we were.
Right.
And so I had closed the spa, and I was only working at the recovery house at the time because I was fighting cancer. And I still had my steam chairs from my spa, the vaginal steam chairs.
Right.
And I was just being there listening to these women's stories, and it was like, this was my wit's end. And I know she's long gone, and I hope she's doing amazing. I had two ladies that literally said, I gotta talk about this shit.
Right.
One of them, she had spent about $8,000 for surgery. She was there at a recovery house, and I think her stay probably was $1,500, somewhere $2,000, for her week stay. Her kids called her because they had got a Friday notice. They also had called because there was no food. Wow. So she had to call a guy to get the kids $100 to get some food with. But now her other daughter, who's old enough to know what this Friday notice is, she's a teenager. And she calling her like, Mom, you know what I'm saying? What's up? And I'm watching her get angry at her daughter for asking for that, right? And so then I watch her do something even worse. She done had her daughter to ask the man for some money for food, the guy she dating, who's at her house or is supposed to be watching the kids to a certain extent.
Right.
For some money. He give her $100. She then says, why would you take $100 from him? So because she has failed as a parent, and they asking her about the Friday notice and why they ain't got no food. Now she gonna turn to her daughter and make it seem like the daughter is doing something with the guy for the $100. Right? Because she not holding herself accountable. I watched this was a matter of 2 days time. And she literally was cursing out her daughter as if her daughter was making a pass on a man who you left with your children. Right? And I watched her cry for days. And the man cussing her out, the daughter crying. The kids is worried if they're going to have a place to stay. She upset because the surgery didn't look the way she looked. The man upset because he don't, whatever. And it hurt. I cried. I actually drove her home an hour because I said, you know something, when she checked out, I told her just like this, bitch, we ain't at work no more.
Right.
You on my personal time, and I got some shit I gotta say to you. I have sat here all week because it was business, and I couldn't wait to take your ass home.
Right.
Because as a woman, the shit I have saw, it's disgusted me and hurt me. And she cried, and it hurt to see that. A week later, this is why I ended up closing the business. Another young lady came. She had a guy drop her off. Come to find out, her first night there, she had only been with the guy for a few months. So she sent the guy back home to keep her kids, 3 kids, from a guy she had only been fucking for a few months, in her car to her house with her children. The night after her surgery, he was at her house with another woman. She can see on the camera that the car is there. He's not answering the phone. She sent her friend over there to go to the house to get the man. The man is in her house fucking another woman in her room with the kids in the other room. He then barely even show up to get her. She didn't even ask nothing about the kids.
That's sad.
Her only concern was a nigga. And he the reason she getting the surgery because she was white and he was black.
That's crazy.
And that's how I came up with pussy talk. I said we is prisoner to our fucking pussies because we chasing shit. We chasing men, we chasing ourselves, we're chasing everything but ourselves.
Right.
And we be letting this shit hold us prisoner. And I said, I gotta talk about this shit, about how fucked up our pussies is.
Right.
And that's how I came up with pussy talk in the back of my recovery house, 2 chairs. It's been 2 years last week.
Oh, wow.
So literally it is about the pussy. Okay.
Now let me ask.
Controversial topics about how we, both men and women, allow ourselves to become prisoner to the pussy, even by one who had us, the one of our own, or one who hurt us.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And that's